This week we talk a lot about RSS, and that just stands for Really Simple Syndication. And to access RSS feeds, you would need a reader. I'm going to show you the Google Reader, which is accessed simply at reader.google.com, or you can go to google.com/reader and bring you the same place. And it will look something like what you see on the screen now. Now, you will have to log in, so you can either use your Mercer ID, or if you have a Google ID already, you can log in that way. And then the next thing you need to do is go to a site to access an RSS feed. Now, I've already logged into one, a pretty neat site called lifehacker.com. And when I go in here, I need to look for a link. And generally, on most sites that have the RSS feeds, if you scroll all the way down the bottom, you see a menu, and down here I see subscribe. So I'm going to click on subscribe. And in a few seconds I get a listing here, and I have to scroll down a little bit again, but I find RSS, and there's an excerpts feed, and I'm going to click on that. Now when it switches screens, it's telling me it's a feed of frequently changing content and subscribe using, and I'm going to click the down arrow here, and I see Google. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on subscribe now. Now this brings me back to the Google Reader. It tells me I'm not subscribed yet, so I actually have to go through one more step, and I'm just going to click down here on subscribe. Now I've subscribed to Lifehacker, and you can see in the left side here that it's one of my subscriptions. Now you notice there's a whole listing of items that are in the Lifehacker site that have the feeds, and up in the upper right here I can see that I'm in the list view. You can also go into an expanded view that gives you a little bit more to look at. Instead of just a one-liner, you can see some graphics and a little paragraph on different items as you go down. And you scroll up here, and let me go in, and I'm going to add one more site. And the next site I want to go to is readwriteweb.com. And I've got that set up here. And now when I go to ReadWriteWeb, you notice that right up in the top I have subscribed to ReadWriteWeb. And the very first symbol, it kind of looks like a speaker. It's orange in background. That one is for the RSS feed. So I'm going to click on that. And again, it brings me to another site saying subscribe using, and it's already set up for Google because that was the one I just recently used. So I'll do subscribe now again. And of course I have to hit one more time subscribe. And now I've subscribed to ReadWriteWeb. And when I look down the left hand side, we'll see under subscriptions I have two in there, Lifehacker and ReadWriteWeb. All right. And you can go through and add as many as you like. I'm going to show you a little bit more on management, and when I go down by subscriptions, you notice I have a down arrow, and if I click on that, I have a manage subscriptions line here, and I'm going to click on that because I want to organize this just a little bit better. Now I go to my screen for settings, and I have my Lifehacker, ReadWriteWeb, and I can add them to a folder. So I'm going to click on that arrow, I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this daily because I like these sites. I want to go into them every day, so just call it daily. And I have that here. And when I click on the arrow, I can see daily and add new folder. And I'm going to do that the same thing with ReadWriteWeb. I'm going to click on the down arrow, but I'm not going to create a new folder. I'm going to put it in the daily folder as well. So now I have them both in the daily folder. And I'm going to come back up top and click on back to Google Reader. And now I can see that they're both in a folder. And if I click on the folder arrow, everything collapses. I can open it back up. So if you start to get a lot of feeds in here, you have a way of organizing them. Now for other organization, I can come back in here to my subscriptions Dropbox here. With managing, notice I have show counts. I can sort these things. If I click on an individual item instead of just the subscriptions, it tells me I can again put it in a new folder. I can rename it. I can unsubscribe from any of these. And I'm just going to go back and click on Lifehacker again. And I'm going to go back to the list view. And something that's a little different from the list view than the expanded view. The expanded view gives you a little more detail on the individual items, But when I go to list view, I have an option here. You see these stars down the side? I can star an item. If there's something here I really like maybe I'm right into the Android right now and I see here best Android launchers. Maybe I want to keep this as something special. Maybe I don't have time to read it now, but I want to get back to it. So if I star it, now I can go into starred items. And I actually had one from a previous session. And I have 2 items that are starred, so I can sort them that way and have them brought right to the forefront. Once I've read it, or if I'm no longer interested, I can unclick the star. And if I go back here, then it would be removed from that list. Now, not every site looks exactly the same, but you did see that you can click on subscribe on most sites. If you're lucky, it comes up right away with the link, that little orange icon that looks like a speaker. Not every site has them. Not every site has an RSS feed. But as you establish more sites that have them, again, this is a really good way of looking at it. And with the Google Reader being in the cloud, you can access it from anywhere. So I can create an RSS feed link to my Google Reader at home, and I can access it from my smartphone, or I can access it when I'm at work. So it's a really good thing to have. See what sites you find out, and let me know if you find any real good ones that I should try and check out.